Yeah, it's great to be here in another LaunchCMU event. Solvvy would have not existed if we had not attended the first event in LaunchCMU, so I'm very thankful for what Lenore and Dave are doing. So today I thought that to give you a little bit of updates how Solvvy has been evolved over the past couple of years and what's the status of the company. So let me tell you about the vision that we have in the company. So there are so much of unstructured natural language data that exists in the enterprise or the companies. And they are like, trapped on different silos, like your customer support, CRM, relationship management systems, or in chat forums or like emails, etc. The vision of Solvvy is that our vision in Solvvy is to get all these natural language data, understand them deeply, and provide insight and make them valuable for your customer, executives, and employees. So let me tell you what is the actual problem that exists today in the enterprise companies. So 15 petabytes of natural language data is created every day, which are trapped in different silos like forums, videos, emails, or CRM systems. The customers are, on average, they are using 6 different channels to communicate with the companies. And usually it ends up like be an inconsistent experience. They are frustrated. For example, just imagine the last time that you contacted a company, you were using, like maybe you were sending them an email and then you switched to chat, or then you called them, and it's a very like inconsistent experience. And there is a trend that the users prefer to find the answers to their questions or solve their problems in a more self-service way than like contacting a company. Not just like for support, even like when you are deciding to purchase something, you really want like to find the answers to your questions yourself than spending so much time talking to an agent or a rep from a company. So because of all these like the problems that exist, there are so much of like, we now have so much more data in terms of natural language data about the communications that the companies have with their customers. But let's take one step back and look at the big picture. Mobile is a big thing these days. It has changed the way that we live or the way that we communicate with the companies, and users are using their mobile much more than their desktops. We have like CRM, customer relationship management systems, which have changed the way that the companies work or the way that they interact with their users. And we have like AI, NLP, and the whole trend of like automations. So we believe that the first company that, or the first mover that can get the interaction of or the intersection of these 3 enormous opportunities and the mega trends, they will have like a big opportunity in terms of like changing the way that the enterprise or the companies works. So the idea of Solvvy is that we actually get different we connect to different data sources like cloud storages, Box or Dropbox, or we connect to the social medias, Facebook, Twitter, or might be like a Salesforce CRM system or a support CRM system like Zendesk or Marketo for marketing, or it might be your public knowledge-based articles, forums like Jira or Lithium platforms that provide forums. So we connect to all of these different platforms, and all the natural language data that exists in these platforms, they come to the AI, ML, NLP platform that we are building, which, so we parse this data, we process them, and we deeply and semantically understand the natural language data. So this has been based on the research that we have been working on for almost like 5 years. We started from where we were like in CMU, and then we continued when working on that technology when we moved to Silicon Valley. We are working on 4 applications of this platform. In particular, as the go-to-market strategy, we are focusing on support. So let me tell you what's actually different in what we are doing compared to like other attempts that have been done in this space. So first of all, Solvvy start extracting the potential answers that exist in different documents or knowledge bases. As you see like in the bottom of this slide, it might be the web pages, FAQ, forums, your emails. It looks at all these unstructured or semi-structured data sources, and it extracts the potential answers. So you may have like a 15-page long document in your support page. Solvvy goes to the page 7, it finds a paragraph. That paragraph might be an answer of a question that the user may ask in future. So it extracts all of these pieces of information and saves them in something that we call a Solvvy answer graph. So each node in the Solvvy answer graph is a potential answer to a question that the users may ask, like about your company. We attach a lot of metadata to each node. For example, if the source that this answer has been extracted from is a trustworthy source, blogs usually are not as trustworthy as like your official support page, or if it has been extracted from a chat, if the user actually was happy at the end of the chat, if they provided like a thumbs up, or like is it like a private channel or a public channel? So all these metadata are attached to the nodes. Then we connect these nodes together using the semantic technology that we have developed. So basically these two nodes in the graph they may have different text. The text may have different kind of words or phrases, but they may talk about the same concept. That's what you see in the part 2. So even though that this example shows two different phrases talking about the same, two different phrases using different wordings, but they are talking about the same concept. So the edges in the graphs are like how close the information of the nodes are to each other. So it's a gigantic graph that we built for the enterprise and for companies, and then we believe that there are a lot of values that we can provide from Solvvy answer graph. Let me give you one concrete example. Suppose that you actually, a customer contact your company in a chat and they ask you a question and the agent provides an answer. The customers usually like use different kind of phrases when they are talking to your agent. They may say, let's say the word lollipop. And the usual case is that the agents or the company has different like vocabulary. So let's say the rep uses the word like Android 5. And this chat actually ended up like to be a successful experience for the user, and the agent is able to solve the question that the user has. So Solvvy start learning from this private conversation what was about this question and what was about the answer that the agent provided, which actually solved the issue of the users. And it started like learning that there is a relationship, for example, between the word lollipop and like Android 5. If someone else or if another users contact your company through another channel, let's say a public knowledge base, and they ask the same question, we cannot serve the private data, but we can start learning from the information that you have in your private data to provide a much more accurate responses. So if the user asks again, like uses phrases that has like the word lollipop, we start like showing the answers that has word Android 5 in them. So that's like more like the application for the self-service and like for the discovery, but we are building applications for business intelligence, which I'll tell you like in a few minutes. As the go-to-market strategy, as I said, we are focusing on the customer support. In customer support, there are so many platforms like Lithium, Jira, Zendesk, Salesforce, Service Cloud, or Intercom. We connect to these different platforms and we provide two applications. One is like for the end user, which is the customer-facing experience, and one is like for the head of customer support. We provide insight to them. So Solvvy is live, it's actually working. We have 3 big companies are using our platform. So it sits in different channels that you have. For example, it sits in the ticket submission or the question, the form that you have in your website, which allows your customers to ask a question. The customer may come, they may be like angry, they may write a long story about the problem that they have. It might be very noisy. Solvvy start like understanding their questions, and it actually measures its confidence. Sometimes, for example, the customer is just reporting a bug. Why should we bother the customer by like providing like solutions when we know that we cannot actually deflect that ticket and we cannot provide the answer to them? So if Solvvy has a low confidence in resolving the customer's issue, it doesn't actually bother, it doesn't intercept, and it let the email or the ticket to comes. But if it has a high confidence, it starts popping up and it shows you the solution. As you see in the picture, this is actually a paragraph that has been extracted from an HTML document. So we just don't show the links or articles, we show the actual answers to their questions. At the end, like we ask the customers, they may say, yes, actually this answers my question, or they may say no. And if they say yes, then we save actually, we provide a much better experience for the user, and we save, like sending one extra email or a ticket to the companies. The companies that have started using our platform from day one, they see 10 to 20% deflection in the number of requests or the tickets or the emails that they get. We have built a product that sits on the ticket submission page. We have built another version of this product that sits on the help center to help the agents to provide more accurate and be more efficient when they are communicating with the customers. And we are building on a prototype to actually seed in the chat channels and have a conversation with automatic conversation with the users. And also like the other version that we are working on is on like knowledge community. So not all the time that we wouldn't be able to provide an answer or like be able like to provide a good self-service approach for the users. Not all the time it's because that Solvvy is not good. A lot of times we have actually learned that it's because the companies are missing having a good knowledge or articles in their public knowledge base. So that's why we started building the second solution, which is live, and the companies and our customers are using it. We call it Solvvy Revise. The idea of Solvvy Revise is that it looks at all the queries or the questions that the company is receiving. It groups them and finds the popular questions that the company is receiving, which they don't have a good public answer in their public knowledge base. So it actually, so the agents, the customer reps spend like, let's say 10 minutes or half an hour or an hour per day. They go to Solvvy Revise. It shows them like a question, which for this question has kind of like predicted that they don't have a good public knowledge article, but it goes even one step ahead, and it says that I have found this email or this ticket which an agent has provided a good answer to this question already. It's private. I cannot show it to the users because it may have some private information, but how about that you spend just a few minutes, revise it, make sure it doesn't have any private information, submit it for approval, the knowledge manager comes and approve it, and then it goes to your public knowledge base. So the idea is that it's very powerful, it's very easy to use, and we believe that using this tool, they should be able to, in a very easy way to increase significantly the coverage of the knowledge base articles that they have. I just go quickly. The ROI in our business is clear. The benefit that we deliver is clear. It's just, if we look at just the cost saving part of it, we have a company which is using our service. They are receiving around like 800K number of tickets per year. Each ticket costs them $10. And from day one, without like no training or no interaction with the user, we can actually save them 10% of the tickets, which end up like to $800,000 saving for the company. So for the 3 years, if we do the ROI and the math, we can see that we can actually provide like 15 times value, like or ROI to them. So it's a very clear win-win situation, and the value that we provide to the companies. But I just don't look at it as a deflect or answering the questions. I think it's actually a delightful experience as well. Like when we would be able to provide a self-service tool to the customers, they are happier at the end of the day. So we are actually have started focusing on measuring the NPS score, and we believe that we may be able to improve the NPS score as well. So the team, actually, Justin and I, my co-founder, started while we were working on our PhD thesis in Carnegie Mellon University. It was like about 3 years ago. The team has grown, and we recently, Mahesh Ram, who used to be our advisor, and he used to be the CEO of Global English, he has joined us as a CEO, helping us with the business development. So we are currently in Palo Alto. Initially we raised less than $1 million. We met those investors, as Dave said, from the first LaunchCMU event, but later on, very recently, we have raised our C2, or like a small Series A, $3.5 million from True Ventures. The idea is that within the next 1 year, we want to develop the business, ideally get to the 1 million ARR, and also like start expanding to this being on the sales and marketing side, not just the support side as well. So think of Solvvy as Splunk meets Siri. Splunk is another CMU's company. They are dealing with big data, machine data. Siri is a very nice interface that you can just like communicate with it or like talk to it. So Solvvy is kind of like combination of these two. Our vision is really that the future of customer support, or the way that we interact with the companies, are going to be mostly automated. And I believe that Solvvy can have a big role in that transformation and that change. Thank you so much.